In the streets of Capernaum, the sun rose high, casting golden light on a lively scene where merchants shouted, children played, and life bustled with energy. Amid this organized chaos sat Matthew, the tax collector. His table was piled high with scrolls, coins glinting in the sunlight, a stark symbol of his profession, and many regarded him as a betrayer. During that time, Matthew was seen as an outcast, a collaborator with Rome, the oppressors of his fellow Jews. Perhaps Matthew had grown used to the scornful glares, the whispered insults, the sense of isolation that came with his role. Then, through the throng of people, a figure emerged. It was Jesus, the Messiah and teacher whose name had begun to ripple across the land like a rising tide. His gaze fell upon Matthew, not with judgment, but with love that seemed to pierce through every wall the tax collector had ever built around himself. "Follow me," Jesus said, his voice steady and yet filled with kindness. Matthew, startled, looked up from his coins. He hesitated only for a moment, his heart thundering in his chest. And then, as if compelled by an unseen force, he rose. He left his table, his coins, his old life, and followed Jesus. Later, while Jesus was having dinner at Matthew's house, an unlikely mix had formed. Jesus, his disciples, and many tax collectors and sinners all gathered at one table. The atmosphere was filled with acceptance and grace. Outside, the Pharisees watched with disapproval, their whispers sharp and judgmental. "Why does your teacher eat with tax collectors and sinners?" they asked one of Jesus' disciples, their question heavy with accusation. But Jesus, ever aware, did not let the question go unanswered. He turned to them, his expression calm yet resolute, and said, "It is not the healthy who need a doctor, but the sick. Go and learn what this means. I desire mercy, not sacrifice. For I have not come to call the righteous, but sinners." Jesus' words, like a pebble dropped into still water, stirred everyone listening. The words revealed his mission and the core of the gospel message even today. Jesus came not to judge, but to show mercy. He came for everyone, including the outcasts, the hurting, and those lost in the margins. On that day in Capernaum, a tax collector became a follower of Jesus. According to scholars, the Gospel of Matthew is traditionally attributed to this same Matthew who was previously a tax collector. This event shows us the limitless compassion of the Messiah and King who came to save and redeem mankind, particularly all those willing, receptive, and open-hearted.